that can literally bring a better market and a better market price to their doorstep. I asked them what the value of those programs were, and they described for me how doubling or tripling their incomes allowed them to send children to school, invest in their kids' education, uniforms and books, and to build a better life for their communities. Over the past year, we've helped mango growers in Punjab and Sindh increase exports by more than 60%, generating more than $14 million of revenue in a program that's codified in wonderful photographs of mango exports in the other room. And in the aftermath of the devastating floods in 2010, we helped provide improved seeds and fertilizer to more than 600,000 households, some of whom I had the chance to specifically visit during that critical and tragic moment. And we observed since then that wheat seed distribution in particular helped to increase the total wheat yield by 60% and saved that winter wheat harvest in large part. Those types of actions are only possible because we've had a 30, 40-year history of working together. In that case, quite literally, we've been co-breeding wheat germplasm together for decades, and that's why we were able to do that. It didn't just manifest itself as an immediate humanitarian program. It came from collaboration between Pakistani and American scientists that have been ongoing for decades. But we know that succeeding with any single harvest is not the path to long-term success for Pakistani's food and agriculture system. And that's why we're trying increasingly to reshape our efforts to focus on working with the private sector, those companies that can bring significant market access to Pakistani farmers, realigning our efforts to take advantage of the Afghanistan-Pakistan Trade and Transit Agreement. And while there are still many issues to be worked out, we believe this groundbreaking agreement is expected to generate as much as $7 billion in Pakistani exports to Central Asia, up from only $8 million a few years ago. Increasingly, we hope to work with businesses that are able to link the producers in Pakistan to these local and international markets, and to do it using the very best modern technologies we all have to work together. When I mention firms like Nestle and Engro, I hold them up as examples of the types of partners we want to increasingly work with, those who can transform systems at scale, who can bring value to communities around the country, and who can expand upon our traditional partnerships with government and NGOs and bring more of a growth orientation to our programs. Third, we are focused on helping conflict-affected communities achieve stability, reducing the pull of extremism and building citizens' confidence in public services. Walking through the exhibit, one can observe the fruits of these efforts in Fatah and Waziristan, where we've helped create more than 170,000 jobs, funded more than 220 kilometers of roads that have been constructed in tough environments with local partners, and provided more than 7,500 scholarships to youth displaced by military operations so they can reclaim their future and, in fact, build a better future for their communities. People often ask me, what do these types of 1,500 plus small infrastructure projects like schools and clinics and wells, what do they add up to? What is the change that we seek when you put all of these results together? When you put these results together in a specific place, in this case a place that is the venue for some significant conflict, we hope to offer a different vision of success, a vision of success that is defined by opportunity and dignity and pathways to prosperity, and a vision of success that's driven by Pakistani leaders and Pakistani leadership who are not only implementing these programs but leading the future for these parts of the country. And to help ensure that more Pakistanis have access to that vision of success, we've worked closely with the Pakistani government to support innovative safety net programs like the Benazir Income Support Program, another result of direct dialogue with Pakistani leadership and the result of a request that we realign our resources to those types of mechanisms. Finally, as the government of Pakistan devolves authority to the provinces, we hope to continue to work in areas that meet basic human needs in health and education. I believe this presents a unique opportunity in the context of a unique challenge for Pakistan. Pakistan has a choice in many ways to either promote significant efforts to improve child survival, to invest in each child's education and growth and opportunities, and to thereby reap what we in the development business called a demographic dividend, which in many other countries around the world has taken 2 to 3% improvement on annualized economic growth rates, especially in Southeast Asia. The other choice is to not succeed in those areas and to face the overwhelming mix of population growth, resource scarcity, climate change, without the benefit of that kind of improvement to growth. Now, I know about Pakistan's commitment to this specific issue because I've had the chance to hear Minister Sheikh deliver his comments at a World Bank meeting a little while ago on precisely this point, on a demographic dividend. And there's perhaps no other country in the world that is poised to achieve success than Pakistan. Today in Pakistan, nearly 1 child in 10 dies before the age of 5. Through the Pakistan Initiative for Mothers and Newborns, we've worked together to help train more than 27,000 lady health workers and provide basic health services throughout the country. These efforts, we believe, have already saved 30,000 newborn lives. But going forward, the opportunity is even more significant. These gains could be extended dramatically. A significant reduction in under 5 child mortality is possible, and over the next 5 years, we project USAID's partnership in health with Pakistan will save more than 250,000 children under the age of 5. Secretary Clinton highlights this type of progress and is hosting in June an international call to action on child survival and hopes to highlight the commitment and the progress that is being made here as an example of what's possible when we bring our best scientists, medical providers, leaders with insight like Minister Sheikh and others together to recognize that this is not just a health priority, but in fact an economic growth one as well. But it does require our doing things differently. The United States, for all of the successes that you'll see in the photographs that are at this exhibition, needs to focus more on building public-private partnerships, on engaging those Pakistani institutions that can be more efficient at delivering results and that can be the institutional legacy of our partnership, as opposed to relying on Western contract partners. Now, we've worked closely with the government and local communities to usher in this new way of working, in health and in education, where our efforts to date have helped more than 900,000 children go to school, and where I've had the chance to see with General Nadeem during the flood relief, we flew over some of the schools that were constructed after the earthquake in Malakand, and we saw those structures still standing. We learned yesterday in Sindh of school structures that were built in the 70s through our partnership that continue to be refurbished and used as schools where kids get access to excellent education. And yesterday we launched a new public-private partnership, a national reading program to reach more than 6.7 million children and improve their literacy outcomes. For 3.2 million of those children over the next 5 years, we will actually measure their literacy outcomes at grade level, because we can't go on spending these resources and engaging in these efforts without documenting and demonstrating concrete results to the people of Pakistan, to the people of the United States, and to others who support and work on these efforts. Now, I share all of this not to imply that everything we do is easy or everything we do is working. In fact, we've been in an intense dialogue over the last few years about how we can change the way we work to focus more on Pakistani institutions, deliver more concrete results. We've in fact cut the number of distinct activities we take on in Pakistan. When we started, it was 140 plus different projects and programs. By September of this year, it will be 35. Those kinds of reductions require saying no to a lot of things that would help a lot of Pakistani people, in the theory that if we focus, concentrate, partner better, and support Pakistani leadership more directly, leadership in civil society, leadership in the private sector, and those government institutions that are necessary and capable of driving change, that we can actually transform systems. And when we transform systems, we know we see the outcomes and we see what success looks like. This exhibition is a celebration of a 50-year history of partnership. And it's worth asking what this would look like and whether we should have one 50 years from now. I'd argue that we shouldn't. I had the chance to visit South Korea to celebrate 50 years of partnership there more recently. Today, we work with South Korea as a partner on everything from nuclear proliferation to agriculture and health initiatives around the world. South Korea used to be amongst the largest recipients of U.S. aid and assistance, and today is teaching us the way in science and technology and engagement around the world. We see that same future here in Pakistan. We know when we partner together and develop scientific insights together to address the water challenges or the energy challenges that we're working on, and this morning we launched a series of new scientific partnerships in precisely those areas, that those insights aren't just to help the Pakistani people, although we know they will. They're also to help us tackle those fundamental global problems that in a more interconnected world require this kind of real partnership. And I know personally that success is possible because I have had the chance over the last few years to work deeply with and meet a broad range of outstanding, inspiring Pakistani leaders from all walks of life. And so as we go forward, we will continue, Minister Sheikh, to work in partnership with you. We'll continue to heed your advice and to focus on those areas we can deliver the biggest results. But we will also continue to make sure that we're constantly searching for and finding those leaders and those institutions in every walk of Pakistani society that we can partner with directly, work with in a spirit of engagement, and live up to Secretary Clinton's call made in this building a number of years ago, that we in fact build a stronger people-to-people partnership across our two countries. Our aid and assistance program is ultimately not about aid and assistance. It's about people and leadership and results that make aid and assistance unnecessary in the future. So with that, I say thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I'm very excited to have the chance to introduce Minister Sheikh. I've had the opportunity to learn a great deal from him, personally, professionally, and in the context of our work. And I think we've agreed that once we implement these principles of transparency, of dialogue, of asking tough questions about what's worked and what hasn't worked, and recognizing that while we celebrate our 50 years of our past, that we want to do things differently so we don't have a 50 years of aid and assistance partnership going into the future. Minister Sheikh has been invaluable in reshaping our development assistance program here in Pakistan and serving as a leader with whom we can work with a great deal of trust and respect. And Minister Sheikh continues to demonstrate that leadership on the global stage, from everything from energy and how to solve those issues to, as I mentioned, how Pakistan can deliver a demographic dividend to its people and its children. So, Minister,
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let me start by saying that darkness is temporary and light is here to stay. And I want to start by thanking the organizers, Ambassador Munter, Andrew Sisson, others. I think also want to welcome you, Dr. Shah. It's a pleasure working with you. I feel that your vision, your leadership, your energy, your commitment, above all your sincerity and humility, make you an excellent ambassador of your country. Your country is fortunate to have you as their spokesperson, and Pakistan and I myself are privileged to have you as a friend. So welcome, and let's give a big hand. I do want to acknowledge the efforts of others who are here, Ambassador Munter, Dr. Wyatt, Mr. Sisson, other colleagues, who have reached out, I think, at a difficult phase in the history of our relationships, and have tried to, I think, understand the aspirations of our people, and have tried to explain the point of view of their own government, and have tried to bridge and create new bonds between our people. So let's give a big hand to them also. I think this exhibit in some ways has been inspirational for me. It showcases the length of our collaboration, which is, over 5 decades. It captures the past. It makes us think about the kind of future that we want. It highlights collaboration. It reveals impact. And it points to the possibilities for the future. And I think there's a lot here that can move us, and there's a lot here that we can learn from, and there's a lot here that can shape the way we build our partnership for the future and bring prosperity to our people. I think that the Pakistan-US relationship is a multidimensional one. It has elements of security and defense collaboration. It has elements of diplomatic and economic cooperation. And above all, it has a history and a bond that cannot be erased, and that ties our people together. And I think this exhibit captures the fundamental, and I'm proud that that is the way it is. So as we go forward, I think these aspirations have to be reflected in the way we see our relationship evolve, in the way we try to once again reconnect with each other in ways that are fundamental, that recognize a cherished past, a relationship that is based on frankness and candor and speaking